The top of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, wishing for you a glorious week ahead. About 80 episodes ago, I talked a little bit about the view from the balcony. Let me remind you a bit of it. Ronald Heifetz and Marty Linsky have both served as faculty members at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University for several years. In their book, Leadership on the Line, Staying Alive Through the Dangers of Leading, they use the metaphor of a balcony overlooking a large ballroom below to address the idea of perspective. Someone on the ballroom floor, dancing, conversing, and sipping cocktails all night with a few wonderful friends and colleagues may leave that event thinking that the whole thing was simply wonderful since they had fun in their own little circle. If that person had, however, gone up to the balcony for about a half hour where, as they looked down, they could see the entire floor, they might have noticed how boring an event it was, on the other hand, for nearly everybody, as they might have seen very few people dancing or conversing, sipping their cocktails and making strange faces because the thing wasn't good. They might have noticed the majority of persons pointing to their watches and referring to their partners, suggestive of how many times they might have wanted to leave the event earlier that same night. Now, we have witnessed some strange results of elections in some of the world's nations that leave us wondering what is it people were thinking. It is evident that some voters never take or might be unable to manage a view from the balcony. A view from the floor might suggest that the economy is more urgent than our democracy. From the floor, people might not even see that their democracy is in danger, no matter how loudly the people who want to take that democracy away say they're going to do it. Whereas the balcony view would say the exact opposite, that the democracy is far more urgent than the economy, which always bounces back anyway. The floor view would blame inflation on the current government, but a balcony view would indicate inflation as a global reality linked to supply chain interruptions, to unnecessary wars, to greed, to economic policies enacted by the previous government, and so on. I saw a super religious man's Facebook wall wherein he refers to persons voicing climate concerns as alarmists. That man is on the floor. For from the balcony, he might have noticed that the permafrost is neither perma nor frost anymore, that we are losing 9 to 13% of the Arctic ice caps each decade, that recently Pakistan's landmass, 1/3 of it was completely under flood waters, that Florida suffered one of the most powerful hurricanes ever, that the Colorado River and other rivers and their dams that supply drinking water and irrigation are at all-time lows. That same super religious man trashed Biden as the demon of inflation, yet he gushed with glee that a brand new vehicle he bought had appreciated by 10% in value the same week he bought it. That poor fellow hadn't a clue that the very thing he was just denouncing is what he was now celebrating. And so it is with views from the floor. And that is how you see things if you're on the floor, not on the balcony. People who get their news from Facebook, Twitter, and Truth Social and the like may be in the basement, maybe even in the dungeon, far less on the balcony. And in the case of the last one, Truth Social, run by a shameless liar who lies literally whenever he speaks, you're definitely in the cesspool rather than in the press pool. Friends, if you look at things from the floor instead of on the balcony, you might not even be as useful locally as you think you might be, since what is local cannot be divorced from what is regional or global. If you choose a leader who doesn't know how to move quickly back and forth from the floor to the balcony and back, you'll have a poor leader. If your country is overrun by voters who never view things from the balcony, who then vote in schemers and liars who know the truth from the balcony but lie to you on the floor, you'll lose your democracy in a hurry. To my American friends who haven't voted yet, please, please, go to the balcony today. Take a wide panoramic view of things before you go back to the voting floor tomorrow. I am Michael Friday, and your week just got better. I'll see you again next week. Happy Monday, all the way to Friday.